I just thought I'd do another video this afternoon because I had the time. And again, I don't have a lot of time, but I figured I would take this spare time to make a video, so here we go. One of the things that I came to the UK to do originally was to study English music, particularly medieval English church music was my speciality. I've done my masters in that, but something I also just in general like is the Middle Ages and stuff. I don't play World of Warcraft or anything that's like associated with people who like the Middle Ages and medieval studies, but I do like the music and the art of that period. So anyway, something that I thought would be an interesting thing to do a video on is not exactly a Wikipedia article, but it is reading something related to the Middle Ages in England, and that is the Canterbury Tales by Chaucer, Geoffrey Chaucer. And I have here a copy of the Canterbury Tales that I stole from a bar. It's somewhat near my house, and they had like little coves that you could sit in and drink with, like private little areas. And me and a few of my friends got in one night, and something I do sometimes is take books if they are at bars. I know I shouldn't, but I was drunk, so what are you gonna do? It's a second-hand book that I thought was pretty, and sitting in my library. So, if you don't know, I'm not an expert on it, so I'm not going to pretend that I am. But if you don't know, the Canterbury Tales are a collection of stories about a bunch of people that went on a pilgrimage to Canterbury, hence the title Canterbury Tales. So, anyway, I thought what I would do is read a little bit from the General Prologue. The prologue was Chaucer's introduction to the whole story, just because it's kind of a famous passage of literature. I don't know how much I'm going to read, but I decided I would do it anyway. So I've also got some snackage, some pork crackling, which is one of my favorite things in the UK. It's really bad for you, but they're good. Sorry, it's so loud. And again, some Coke. So, not really following my diet when I do these videos, but makes me on 13 cents. I don't know, I think fatty snack food sounds sometimes better. Anyway, I don't know. You can really smell these, they smell very strong. I never heard of these. I guess they're technically just like pork rinds. But I find when I have gotten pork rinds in the United States, they don't taste like this. So anyway, I'm not really eating much today, so I'm actually quite hungry. Salty and very fatty, and sometimes if you get them in pubs and they've been made actually out of pig, I mean, I suppose these have been made out of pig, but when you get them like freshly made, Sometimes they actually still have like hair on them from the bake. It's kind of gross, but I still eat it. Sorry if you can hear that, that's my washing machine. So one thing I thought I would do before I started reading the regular text is read, or rather recite. I feel funny doing this, feels like I'm back in school. But in my 12th grade year, my final year in high school, I took AP English, which is essentially, if you pass the AP exam at the end of the year, you don't have to take, or you get college credits towards whatever AP course you take. And so, because I got a 5 on my AP English exam, which is the highest grade you can get, or highest mark you can get on this exam, I never had to take English when I went to university. Which is okay, because I wasn't an English major, and I was a liberal arts school, so I had to already take a lot of courses that weren't related to my field of study, so that was fine with me. Anyway, but in that course we studied the Canterbury Tales, and that was the first time that we had. And then, the first time I had ever heard of them, actually. My partner went to Oxford University, and then they do, amazing amounts of work on things like Chaucer. And I can see right now across the table is our bookshelf, that you can see in one of our other videos. And his copy of Chaucer is like that thick. It's immense, and it's got the original Middle English and the English translations and everything. So I did not study it that closely, but what I did do was in high school when we studied it, our teacher for some reason made us learn the first 8 lines of the prologue in Middle English, and we had to get up in front of our class and recite them in Middle English. And she said, in her very Midwest accent, she said, "Oh, you guys are gonna remember this for the rest of your lives." And sure enough, she was right. I have always remembered it, and it's quite it's something funny to say at parties and stuff. It's not really worth it, and I don't think that I'm perfect at the pronunciation. It's probably drifted a little bit from school, but I don't know. So I will read. I think what I'll do is read line by line and tell you what the translation is, so that you know what I'm saying. So, the beginning of the Canterbury Tales by Geoffrey Chaucer. Wander up riu the shore sota, the trocht of March hath persit the rota. When in April the sweet showers fall, that pierce March's drought to the root and all, and bathed every vein in sweet liquor, of which virtue engendered is the floor, and bathed every vein in sweet liquor, of which the flower has engendered virtue. Once every sake with his sweet breath, in spirit hath in every holt and heath. When Zephyr also has with his sweet breath filled again in every holt and heath. The thunder croppus and the young Asana hath in the ram his halve course Irona. The tender crops and the young sun has run half his course in the sign of the ram. The sign of the ram meaning the astrological symbol. So altogether, that's one that uproy with the shore sota, the trocht of March hath persit to the ronda, and bathed every vein in sweet liquor, of which virtue engendered is the floor. One zephyr sake with his sweet breath, in spirit hath in every holt and heath. the Thunderkroppers and the Yokozuna at the Inderam is out of a course Irana. I thought that was cool. I enjoyed that I learned that in school, so I only thought it was cool. So just for a few minutes, I'll read from the beginning. Actually, just where I was, where I started there. Sorry, again, I need to shut off my laptop. When the sweet showers of April have pierced the dryness of March to its root and soaked every vein in moisture, whose quickening force engenders the flower. When Zephyr, with his sweet breath, has given life to tender shoots in each wood and field. When the young sun has run his half-course in the sign of the ram. When nature, prompting their instincts, small birds who sleep through the night with one eye open make their music. Then people long to go on pilgrimages and pious wanderers to visit strange lands and far-off shrines in different countries. In England especially, they come from every shire's end to Canterbury to seek out the holy blessed martyr St. Thomas of Becket, who helped them when they were sick. It happened one day at this time of year, while I was lodging at the Tappard in Southwark. Southwark is a place in South London, actually. I work there. Ready and eager to go on my pilgrimage to Canterbury, a company of 29 people arrived in the hostelry at nightfall. They were of various sorts, accidentally brought together in companionship, all pilgrims wishing to ride to Canterbury. The rooms and stables were commodious, and we were very well looked after. In short, by the time the sun had gone down, I had talked with every one of them and soon become one of their company. We agreed to rise early to set out on the journey I'm going to tell you about. But nevertheless, before I take the story further, it seems right to me to describe, while I have the time and opportunity, the sort and condition of each of them as they appeared to me, who they were, of what rank, and how dressed. I shall begin with the knight. The knight, like Sir Lancelot kind of thing. And then he goes on to describe every single person in the party, which is a little bit crazy because there's 29 people. So we read the entire General Prologue in high school, in modern English, not in Middle English. I always very much enjoyed it, so that's why another reason I wanted to get the book, because I wanted to take the book, because I just never got a chance to read the whole thing, so maybe I will. Sorry if this is really loud. The crunching, I know. The name of them is pork crackling, so it's kind of expected, but still. What I liked about the Middle English version of the Canterbury Tales is that it really shows closely related. English and French are as languages, like the word floor for flower, and just the pronunciation, the tender crops, the tonto croppus, and it's more phonetic than French, but still it's not exactly as you would expect all the words. Most words in modern English are fairly predictable, phonetic. That is, where you can sound them out, but it's not so easy in Middle English as you might expect. Thank God the bag is small. These are so salty. I bet they're like a heart attack waiting to happen. But